Welcome to State of the Offense. Today we will look at the quarterback situations in the NFC West. All four of the quarterbacks in the NFC West are established. Arizona is the only team where it is unknown whether their main starter, Kyler Murray, will be ready for Week 1. Kyler Murray suffered an ACL tear in the second half of the season. He began training camp on the PUP list, and the Cardinals have been very vague about Murray's availability for the season. The lack of information about Murray has caused him to drop on fantasy draft boards. Reliable veteran Colt McCoy will likely start all the games for the Cardinals that Murray would miss. The Cardinals wide receivers will probably not produce much with McCoy on the field. McCoy's fantasy value is pretty much non-existent. If Kyler Murray fully recovers from his knee injury, he is one of the most dynamic athletes and quarterbacks in the NFL. He has as good an arm as any passer in the game, and his running ability and agility are superhuman. How Kyler will look after his rehab is very much a question because the Cardinals have changed their system and their coaches. Kyler has always played in an up-tempo spread offense that took advantage of his mobility and his capacity to create offense. Last year, Kyler scored 23.8 fantasy points per game, which was good for the 11th best average in the league. Since he only played in 11 games, he ended up as the quarterback 22 in total points scored. Due to the uncertainty of Murray's timeline, he is getting drafted much later than in normal years. Kyler is going between the 24 and 26 range of quarterbacks getting drafted. His overall draft position is around pick 134, which would make him a 12th round pick. Yahoo rates him as their 27th quarterback, and ESPN ranks him 22nd. If you like running quarterbacks, taking Kyler Murray as your quarterback 3 in your draft may be a good stash for later in the season. I rate Kyler Murray as my quarterback 26 and player 117 overall. Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, and Zach Ertz have all had health issues to overcome, so even if Murray is available early, the Cardinals may still have valuable skill players miss time early in the season. 2022 was an absolutely tough year for the Rams offense. Matthew Stafford started the season with elbow problems, then he suffered a concussion, and then he had a neck injury. All reports from Rams camp are good for Stafford this summer, though. It is reasonable to think that Matthew Stafford will have a better 2023 season. The offensive line is still unproven, but they should be better than they were last year. Cooper Kupp has missed time in camp, so that will affect Stafford's production. The Rams have a respectable amount of skill talent around Stafford with Cam Akers and Tyler Higbee, in addition to Cooper Kupp. Many young wide receivers are unproven in the league, but there has been a lot of buzz around Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, and Puka Nacua in the offseason. Stafford produced 20.1 fantasy points per game last year, which was good enough for the 27th in average points scored. His injuries caused him to finish as the quarterback 30 in total points. Drafters are cautious with Stafford going into this year. There is also a large variance in draft position for Stafford depending on where you look. He's the quarterback 19 drafted on ESPN, but he's the quarterback 29 drafted on Yahoo. He is the 19th ranked quarterback on ESPN, but he's the 20th ranked quarterback on Yahoo. I rate Matthew Stafford as my quarterback 23. Stafford is my 100th player overall. I would be a little higher on Matthew Stafford if Cooper Kupp would have participated in camp 100%. Brock Purdy was the story of the NFL in the late part of the regular season and in the playoffs. His unexpected rise as a winning quarterback was a major storyline for an unheralded rookie replacement quarterback. Purdy's offseason elbow surgery appears to be a success, and he is the clear-cut number one quarterback in the Bay Area over Trey Lance. A full season of Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey together with the other 49er skill positions should produce a very effective offense in San Francisco. Purdy only ran for 13 yards last year, so his fantasy production is limited to his passing ability. Purdy is going between the quarterback 18 and 22 spots in fantasy drafts now. His ADP overall is between 121 and 167. Because of the skill level around Purdy, I am higher on Purdy than most. He's my quarterback 20 and my player 90 overall. Geno Smith was probably the second biggest surprise at the quarterback position behind Brock Purdy. Geno went into the preseason in a camp battle with Drew Lock, and then he ended up playing every snap during the regular season, and he was the comeback player of the year. The offensive line in Seattle is below average, so there may be some trouble for Geno in the offensive line and in protection, but if he handles the pressure okay, there will be plenty of strong targets for him to throw to. The top three Seattle wide receivers of DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith-Njigba is a top 5 group. The running game with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet should be good enough for play action to work very effectively. He averaged 24.7 fantasy points per game last year, which was the 9th best average in the league. By playing the entire season, Geno actually finished as the quarterback 6 in total points scored. I think he is undervalued overall. His ADP is currently at 117, 118, but Geno is my number 81 player overall, which gives him an 8th round grade. This year, quarterbacks are rating higher for me on the big board because of all the question marks in the running back position. I feel that many quarterback 2s like Geno Smith and Brock Purdy should be getting drafted higher than most of the running back 3s and wide receivers that would be on the board in that stage of the draft. If you like today's coverage of the NFC West quarterbacks, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.